You'll see A.J. Brown differently after this. A.J. Brown has always been a difference maker. Throughout his career, he has shown time and time again why he's one of the best wide receivers in the game. Every player faces challenges, whether it's injuries or tough competition, but A.J. Brown always finds a way to come back stronger. So what makes him so special, and how has he managed to make such a big impact on the field? Stay tuned as we take a closer look at A.J. Brown's journey and what makes him a player to watch. The story of A.J. Brown started in Starkville, Mississippi. He came from a low-income background when their sole son, Arthur Jawan, was born on June 30th, 1997. And his parents, Arthur Brown and Josette Robertson, had no intention of having a large family. However, his name was listed as Arthur Juan on his birth certificate due to a typo. A.J. was surrounded by family, friends, and a strong sense of community, with their local church at its center. Growing up in a town where athletics were a way of life, on the family's wide acreage, he had lots of room to run, play, and dream big during his adventurous boyhood. From a young age, A.J. had a natural gift for sports. His dad, a former high school baseball player and wide receiver, encouraged him to play and practice as much as possible. Using spare materials from his dad's job at the city's electrical department, A.J. even built his own batting tee. Baseball quickly became his passion, and he spent endless hours practicing in the yard. One unforgettable, if slightly chaotic moment came when he accidentally smashed the family aquarium with his bat. Even back then, it was obvious he was full of energy and determination, always looking for ways to improve. Baseball was his first love, but football was always lingering in the background. As a kid, he wasn't too drawn to it. The physical contact just didn't seem worth it. In 8th grade, he decided to give it a shot and put on the pads, but the fear of getting hurt held him back. The game felt too rough, and he wasn't sure it was for him. His coaches saw his potential. His hand-eye coordination and ball skills were impressive, but without a real passion for the game, he wasn't all in just yet. High school came with new challenges and opportunities. A.J. transferred to Starkville High, a well-funded school his father helped him get into. He quickly made a name for himself as a leadoff hitter and center fielder on the baseball team, and even gave basketball a shot. But when he didn't make the varsity roster, he started reconsidering football. Some of his classmates joked that he was too scared to play, and that only fueled his determination. Instead of backing down, he decided it was time to prove them wrong. During his sophomore year, he decided to give football another shot, his third attempt at the sport. Playing as a defensive back, he used his baseball-honed skills like sharp hand-eye coordination to his advantage, leading the team in interceptions. He still wasn't completely comfortable with contact, especially when playing on offense, but his coaches saw real potential in him. By junior year, A.J. had hit a growth spurt, reaching 6'1", and the extra strength he'd built helped put worries about past injuries to rest. With a new level of focus and determination, he made a name for himself in high school football. All the hard work paid off when he helped lead Starkville to a state championship victory. Even though he was talented in both baseball and football, his skills on the field stood out the most. By his senior year, he was named an All-American, finishing the season with over 1,300 receiving yards and 13 touchdowns. It was clear that his dedication was turning into real success. Even as his high school career ended on a high note, his next steps were anything but simple. When college offers started coming in, many expected him to leave Mississippi and join a powerhouse like Alabama. Instead, A.J. shocked everyone by staying close to home and committing to the University of Mississippi, Ole Miss. This decision didn't sit well with some local fans who were used to seeing him in a different uniform. And he even received harsh words and in some cases death threats. Yet he pressed on, determined to succeed on his own terms. At Ole Miss, A.J. Brown quickly began to shine. Although he was drafted in the 19th round by the San Diego Padres for baseball right after enrolling, college rules meant he could only focus on football. As a freshman, he played in all 12 games and recorded 29 catches for 412 yards and 2 touchdowns. It was a modest start, but it hinted at the incredible things that were yet to come. In his sophomore year, he found a new position in the slot, which turned out to be a game changer. That season, he led the Southeastern Conference with a whopping 1,220 receiving yards and scored 11 touchdowns. One of his most memorable moments was during the Egg Bowl against Mississippi State, where he ran 77 yards for a touchdown, marking his dominance on the field. A.J. continued to improve as a junior, again leading the SEC with more than 1,300 receiving yards. His work at Ole Miss made him one of the top receivers receivers in the country, and it wasn't long before he declared for the NFL draft in 2019. His college performance was undeniably impressive. He had the skills, the speed, and the hands that made him a standout player. In the 2019 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans picked A.J. Brown as the fourth wide receiver off the board. From the start, he proved he was built for the big stage. In his debut, he put up 100 yards, and later in the season, he torched the Raiders for 153 yards and 2 touchdowns. Even though the Titans had their struggles that year, Brown was a bright spot, making big plays when it mattered. His impact carried into the postseason, where he continued to show his talent. By the end of the year, he wasn't just a rookie, he was a serious contender for Offensive Rookie of the Year. But AJ's journey wasn't without its challenges. In 2020, during his second season, he dealt with a bone bruise in his knee that forced him to miss a couple of weeks. Yet, when he returned, he managed to score touchdowns in 5 straight games. Off the field, AJ bravely opened up about his struggles with depression. Even while playing at a high level, he admitted that he had been battling dark thoughts and a deep sense of negativity. His honesty about his mental health was a turning point. Not only did it show his vulnerability, but it also offered hope to others dealing with similar issues. Setbacks and injuries continued to impede him in 2021. He was placed on injured reserve for a while, and as the Titans changed their offensive scheme, he occasionally found himself out of commission during crucial games. Nevertheless, nobody could dispute his skill or his determination to overcome obstacles. However, the Titans' front management had to make the difficult decision that they would not pay him what he was worth when it came time for a new contract. Rather, they traded him in the 2022 offseason, which angered many fans and made them wonder why they had done it. In the end, the exchange proved to be advantageous. After being traded, A.J. Brown signed a new 4-year, $100 million contract with the Philadelphia Eagles. Although there were many fan arguments over the transfer, it was obvious that the Eagles saw something unique in him. Together with his new teammates, such as Jalen Herndon, whom he had known since high school, A.J. immediately established himself as a key member of the team's offensive unit. He scored 11 touchdowns and came close to reaching 1,500 receiving yards in his rookie campaign with Philadelphia, earning him a spot on the second-team All-Pro. AJ continued to create history with the Eagles. He got 156 yards and 3 touchdowns in a game against the Steelers, putting on a show. During that performance, he simply could not be stopped. He never stayed down for very long, even when he was injured. His comebacks were as spectacular as his big plays. Despite just catching 1 ball out of 3 targets in the wildcard round against the Packers, his enthusiasm and energy were evident. Fans rallied behind him after the game, demonstrating that sometimes it's more important to consider the heart behind the numbers than just the numbers. His defining moment came in the NFC Championship game. In that high-pressure situation, A.J. Brown finally got the chance to shine on the biggest stage. He not only broke free from defenders, but also scored his first postseason touchdown. 2 years after a painful Super Bowl loss in which his team had come up short, he avenged that heartbreak in Super Bowl 59. With 43 yards and a crucial score on the board, A.J. proved he could rise to the occasion and secure his place among the league's best. What do you think is next for him? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more football content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.